So Gage Williams will be our final presenter before our little break. And he teaches at the U and does set design for pretty much everyone, right? I mean, ABC, NBC,
film on TV.
yeah.
So, does it go automatically?
You press forward once, now so.
Okay. No, thank you. Hey, hello. I am a set designer, but let me tell you something. Theater's about the human condition. It's about the study and the celebration and the exploration of the human condition. But you got to have a doorway. Somebody's got to figure out how you're going to get onto that space. And I've been doing it for about 20 years. Tonight I'm going to try and share it with you in 19 slides. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Tennessee Williams. This is a play about a bed. Because nobody gets on that bed. And that's the dramatic tension. So, poetic realism. You rake the floor, you play with the perspective, you want to make this room more of a cell than a bedroom. Ah, the Iceman cometh. Eugene O'Neill, 1935. This is a bar, a saloon, a flop house, where everybody knows your name, but it's not very cheery. Because Eugene and John Reed knew that America was in decline and had some big problems, and these people here are suffering from it. Hay fever. Sometimes you bathe a beautiful room with lovely light, and you fill it with flowers, and the Bliss family and Noel Cowher's characters can bring some other people in and torture them, because they don't have the worries that Eugene O'Neill's characters have. Another beautiful English space, and like I said, the flowers like a garden. How about Tartuffe? That Molière wrote this in 1669. Tartuffe was a hypocrite. He was a fake. At first I looked at Versailles, but I said, no, Tartuffe wants to corner these people. He wants to trick them. So I put it in the small house of Versailles, and I put it in a stair corner, where exactly Tartuffe could complete his magic. How about you can't take it with you? Moss and Hart, 1935. These people are like the Blisses. They're full of joy. They're not worried about the Joneses. This turn-of-the-century brownstone has everything in it for the last 100 years. It's dusty, it's unkept, it's cluttered, but it's full of wonderful people that celebrate the joy of life. Oh, Peter Brook, 1970. He killed poetic realism. And his utilitarian box is going to become a fad for the next 40 years. I, too, am going to become a victim of this. So follow your period architecture and start to think like an artist. Start to think abstract. Start to startle your audience. How about Ming-Cho Lee, 41 years teaching at Yale University. Him and his students have transformed the box throughout the world. It's no longer utilitarian. In this case, it's an edgeless desert. He takes the confines, the utilitarian of the box, but he turns it into an emblem. He turns it into an abstract representation. Ah, I finally get my first chance. Sophie Treadwell's Mackinac. This poor woman in 1930, her whole life is destroyed by a mechanized world, a male world dominated. So I created this mechanized box with little center panels that could flip to create all the different scenes, starting in the office and ending in her execution. How about Pioneer Theater Company? I brought the first box there around 1999 for As You Like It. The box design can also be abstract. It can be beautiful. It can be playful. Here I create the forest of art with simple poles, gauze headers above, a simple bridge opening up into a wonderful box. Ah, Pioneer Theater, Idaho Shakespeare Festival. I've been the resident set designer there since 1995. We opened this beautiful amphitheater in 1998. Combination between the parks and the recreation. You can see the hard masking. You can see the Boise foothills in the background. The rake stage, the cedar, the intimacy of it. Shakespeare would have loved it. The big debate was, do we put a wall up in the back? I said, no. Don't put a wall in the back. We'll design a wall for every show. And we'll not only compete against nature, but we'll embrace nature. As you can see, this wonderful cloudy sky is just perfect for this single wall set for the production of Macbeth. Ah, yes, Hamlet. Don't give me the box, I can just make it a wall. But I wouldn't design a wall here. How do you present a ghost? How do you present Hamlet's dead father at 7:30 when it's 102 degrees out? I created a portal. I created a portal that was unconventional, so that when that actor appeared there, it was unnatural. So it really wasn't designed about a wall, it was designed about a portal. How about the importance of being an artist? Oscar Wilde, 1889. I tried to take a wall and said, how can I make it epitome of English? put a little ivy on it, put the right kind of details on it, and then this three-portaled wall can become an interior apartment, an exterior, and outdoor. Hey, if Peterborough can do it, I can do it too. So we stole liberally from him. And I took that single wall and I painted it bone white, and painted that floor bone white, made it a little convex, and look at that wonderful contrast. Contrast against the Boise sky and the foothills, and these wonderful colored costumes just pop off like magic. Oh, but it doesn't have to be a white wall. You can still get a little of that poetic realism in there. This is Romeo and Juliet, post-World War II Verona. Looks like this Renaissance building took a little bit of damage from the airstrikes. But that's okay, because metaphorically it suggests the oncoming decline of that poor tragic ending to Romeo and Juliet. Ah, there's that Macbeth wall. This time the wall becomes a metaphorical idea. What's it take these two young yuppies to go in there and murder their boss? Blind ambition. That's what it took. Also a wonderful chaotic image to fight against all that wonderful nature and pull your eye in and focus on the production. How about a modified wall? How about a modified box? How about a little Moorish architecture? A half-tiled wall in the back for this production of Twelfth Night. Lots of color, lots of texture, and these static sets with a few screens and a few props can bring you that mysterious world of Illyria. Ah, Midsummer Night's Dream, what a wonderful play. Starts in the Duke of Athens' constricted, refining marble castle with that Greek facade separated, but Oberon appears and separates the wall and creates our psychedelic forest, which is really just a bunch of brightly colored brown rows that bends into the trees and captures the end. Does anybody know Art Shear? He's on Broadway right now in rehearsal for Women of a Nervous Breakdown, women on the verge of a nervous breakdown, but he used to slum at the Idaho Shakespeare Festival. I designed Cymbeline for him, and you know what? You know where this design came from? Oh yeah, Peter Brook, the Mahabharata. It was an empty stage and a red floor. And